cooperation, collectives, mutual benefit. These are the things that define major structures within a functional society. Even the most functional societies have these things. The bees and flowers, oxpeckers, and larger animals like zebra and buffalo, and even ants and aphids. All these species have mutual benefit for each other. Bees collect nectar from the plants, and in return, bees pollinate the plants. Oxpeckers eat parasites from bigger animals, and the bigger animals get relief. Bees get a milky product from the aphids, and in return, the aphids get protected by the ants from other insects. This is called mutual aid. Mutual aid is far from a new concept. It spans to plants, to animals, and even humans themselves. Individuals have been using mutual aid for arguably as long as advanced human societies emerged. From early egalitarian societies to the Roman Empire, and even now in the 21st century. So what exactly is mutual aid? Mutual aid is the action of individuals collectively and voluntarily exchanging resources and services for the community when it comes to outside structures. Mutual aid is the action of individuals collectively and voluntarily exchanging resources and services for the community when it comes to outside structures, like government or private entity, can't meet the individual's needs. Mutual aid steps in to help individuals. The government and other private entities often can't help those who need assistance with their needs. That's why this concept exists, to help individuals with their needs. It fills in the gaps of society. Mutual aid is based on solidarity rather than a one-way transaction like charity. It is the idea that we are all in this together, and individuals are collectively in this together, associating out shared interests. It's not about helping the less fortunate, but rather individuals helping out each other. Mutual aid does not have an exact history behind it because it's as old as advanced life itself. For humans, though, it is thousands of years old and can be argued it's existed for as long as advanced human societies started to emerge. The term mutual aid was popularized by a Russian anarchist philosopher in the 19th century. He wrote the concept in his book, Mutual Aid, A Factor in Evolution. In the book, he talks about how most species in the animal world thrive off of solidarity and mutual cooperation. Mutual aid is rooted in anarchist principles, but it is not exclusive to anarchism. Anyone can use mutual aid to better themselves. It doesn't mean you have to be an anarchist to use mutual aid, nor do you have to advocate for anarchism to help out your local community with voluntary work. Some historical examples being the Native Americans. When tribes had little to no resources, they would get help from another tribe in exchange for another resource or service. The well-being of the group valued mutual aid highly in their collective because the more people who got what they needed, like food and water, the more the community thrived. A more peaceful example being the Roman collegia. The Roman collegia was a group of artisans, merchants, and other civilians. They collectively got together and formed services that the empire could not through mutual support. A more recent example is the 19th and 20th centuries. Labor unions were common during that time, and the government did not provide affordable health care or support paid sick leave. The unions provided. The Black Panther Party is also a great example of mutual aid. In the 1960s, they created mutual aid networks, providing food and healthcare to people at a more reasonable agreement to their cause than what the government or private entities could provide. But why is mutual aid so important? The more individuals got what they needed in a community, the stronger the community gets. There are more reasons on why mutual aid is important for a variety of reasons. When other entities, such as the government and businesses, can't provide, groups of individuals acting voluntarily can. In a time of crisis, whether it be a natural disaster, pandemic, or economic collapse, mutual aid networks within the community can respond quicker than outside entities can. Governments and businesses are often slower to respond than people who are voluntarily associating with each other. It fills in the gaps of society as it stands. Mutual aid moves away from profit and hierarchy, unlike charity, and builds collective communities from the ground up. In a mutual aid network, you are not seen as profit, but rather another individual. When corruption is apparent in our government, mutual aid builds a collective power to combat the system, creating networks that rely on each other rather than power that you don't trust. Moreover, mutual aid is not just about survival. It's about thriving. In times of prosperity, mutual aid can enhance communities' well-being by fostering a sense of belonging and shared purposes. When individuals come together to support each other, they create stronger and more resilient communities that can overcome any storm. Consider the example of community gardens. These spaces not only provide fresh produce, but also serve as hubs for social interaction and skill sharing. Neighbors teach each other gardening techniques, shared seeds, and collaborate on projects. The mutual exchange of knowledge and resources strengthens the community's bond and ensures that everyone benefits from the collective effort. Another example is the rise of time banks. In a time bank, individuals exchange services based on the value of time rather than for money. For insurance, someone might offer to babysit for a neighbor in exchange to help with home repairs. This system encourages a culture of reciprocity and mutual support, ensuring that everyone's skills and needs are valued equally. Mutual aid plays a critical role in addressing systematic inequalities. By creating networks of support that operate outside traditional power structures, mutual aid can empower marginalized communities to advocate for their own needs and solutions. For example, during the COVID-19 pandemic, many communities established mutual aid funds to provide direct financial support to those affected by jobless and health crises. These things not only offered immediate relief, but also highlighted the resilience and self-determination of these communities. In conclusion, mutual aid is a powerful force for creating more eligible and resilient societies. It reminds us that we are all interconnected and that our collective well-being depends on our ability to support each other. As we face the challenges of the 21st century, from the climate change to economic inequality, mutual aid offers a path forward. One built off of cooperation, solidarity, and the understanding that we are stronger together.